Hello students, welcome. My name is Bruno Mligo, an economics teacher, and today we are going to discuss the topic of national income. The subject is economics. The topic national income, and the subtopic relationship between consumption and income. So our subtopic we are going to concentrate is the relationship between consumption and income. Okay, before we proceed, let us consider the two important equations, which is aggregate demand and aggregate supply. According to Keynesian, the aggregate demand is equal to C plus I, and the aggregate supply equals to C plus S. And the consumption function is given as C equals to A plus B Y. I hope all of you students, you know these three important equations. Now, we know that according to Keynesian, at the equilibrium level of income, the aggregate demand is equal to the aggregate supply. Now, at the equilibrium point, equilibrium aggregate supply equals to aggregate demand. So you equate the two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Therefore, the aggregate supply will be C plus S, and the aggregate demand will be C plus I. So when you collect the like terms, C and the C will cancel, so remain S equals to I, where now S is equal to saving and I the same as investment. So at the equilibrium level of income, the saving will be equal to investment. Now let us see the relationship between the consumption and income. According to Keynesian, this equation shows that the level of consumption depends on income. It means as the income increases, consumption also will increase. It means there is a direct proportion between consumption and income. So we can conclude that there is direct relationship between consumption and income. That means when income increases, consumption will also increase. So when income increases, also consumption will increase. So graphical, we can show as a for we can show the relationship between consumption and the income as a for. So here is consumption level, and here is income. So this shows that when C and Y are directly related, means the graph will be positive. So this graph shows the positive relationship, that is C equals to A plus B Y. So our graph will look like this one. Now let us derive some concepts which will help us to analyze or to make some analysis on the relationship between the consumption and income. So important terms or concepts in this subtopic are as for one, we need to have a knowledge on the average propensity to consume. Or in short, we can write APC. Now, what is average propensity to consume? It means this is the percentage income used for consumption. The percentage income used for consumption. So we can say the APC be equal to the ratio between C and Y. So the average propensity to consume, you take the ratio between the consumption and the income. Another concept we need to revise is the marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume, MPC. Now the marginal propensity to consume, this is, we can say, is the additional consumption resulting from the additional income. So MPC be equal to change in C over change in Y. Means the change in income as a, sorry, the change in consumption as a result of change in income. So the additional consumption due to change in income. The third concept we need to discuss is average propensity to save, APS. Now, the average propensity to save, this will be the percentage of income a household or an individual used as a saving or used to save. So you can take the ratio between saving and income. So the average propensity to save, you take saving over income. And the fourth concept is marginal propensity to save, MPS. Marginal propensity to save, this is the additional income used for saving. The additional income used to save. So MPS will be equal to change in saving over change in income. So these are the four main important concepts to remind or to revise. Now let us derive the concept of investment multiplier. Let us derive the concept of the formula of investment multiplier. Investment can write small letter k. Now see investment multiplier, which is k, this is the ratio between change in income as a result of change in investment. So the investment multiplier take the ratio between change in income and change in investment. Now let us derive the formula. Consider the following equations. Y equals to C plus I, which is aggregate demand, and Y equals to C plus S, which is aggregate supply, and C equals to A plus BY, which is consumption. Now from these three equations, we can derive the investment multiplier. Okay, as we said, investment multiplier is the change in income as a result of change in investment. Now, let us consider this equation, which have the variable investment. Now, at a variable C, you need to substitute the consumption equation. Now, from equation 1, from Y equals to C plus I, let us substitute the consumption function, which is A plus BY. So this one will be A plus BY, then plus I. So our function now will be Y equals to A plus BY plus I. Then now you can collect the like terms, y come together. So our equation, when this comes this side, will be y minus by, then this side will remain with a plus I. So you factor out y, so here remain 1 minus b bracket y equals to a plus I. So divide throughout by 1 minus b. So when you divide throughout, y will be equal to a over 1 minus b plus I over 1 minus b. So our equation will be this one. Now, in order to find the multiply, you need to use calculus to differentiate this equation in order to get the change in y and change in I. Now, by using calculus, when you differentiate this equation, it will be as a 4. So when we differentiate this one, it will be change in y equals to, when we differentiate this constant, it will be equal to 0 plus, when we differentiate this variable I, it will remain with 1 over 1 minus b. Change in I. So when you add, it will be change in y equals, when you multiply, it will be change in I over 1 minus b. Now, in order to get change in y over change in I, you divide throughout by change in I. So when you divide both sides by change in I, here will be change in y over change in I will be equal to, when you divide here by change in I, this will cancel, remain 1 over 1 minus b. But change in y over change in I, this is the same as k. So will be 1 over 1 minus b, which is the investment multiplier. Therefore, investment multiplier will be equal to 1 over 1 minus b. Okay, another concept is MPC. We said MPC equals to change in C over change in y. Now let us consider the consumption function. C equals to a plus b y. Now to get this change in C over change in y, you need to differentiate this consumption function. Now when you differentiate, change in C over change in y will be equal to, when you differentiate this, constant will be equal to 0, and when you differentiate this, will remain with b. So change dc over dy the same as a change in C over change in y, which is the same as the MPC. So MPC will be equal to 0 plus b will be what? B. Now if we ask to find the marginal propensity to consume, you will take the value of b in the consumption equation or in the consumption function. Again, let us find the MPS. MPS we said is change in S over change in Y. But we know our functions, which is y equals to c plus s, where s is the saving. Now substituting the consumption equation, here will be a plus b y plus s. Now when you make s the subject, then s will be equal to negative a plus 1 minus b y. So when you make s the subject and you collect like terms, the saving function will be this one. Now when you find the MPS, you differentiate this equation. Now when you differentiate, this one will be ds over dy, the same as when you differentiate this constant will be equal to 0 plus, when you differentiate this one will be 1 minus b. So 0 plus 1 minus b remain with 1 minus b. But change in s over change in y the same as MPS, be the same as MPS. So MPS the same as 1 minus b. Also, but we know that b equals to MPC. So you can substitute in this equation. MPS will be equal to 1 minus, instead of writing b, you can put MPC. So MPS will be equal to 1 minus MPC. Now when this one comes this side to the left side, will be MPS plus, since it's negative, when comes this side will be positive, then MPC equals to 1. So if we are asked to show the relationship between marginal propensity to save and marginal propensity to consume, the answer will be equal to 1. So when you take the summation of MPS and MPC, the answer is equal to 1. Let us go back and see our investment multiplier. As we said, investment multiplier, we said, equals to 1 over 1 minus b. But here we already find the value of b. But b equals to MPC. So investment multiplier will be equal to 1 over 1 minus MPC. Or will be equal to, but you know, 1 minus MPC, you can come back here, we said 1 minus MPC the same as MPS. So the investment multiplier will be 1 over MPS. So all these are very important in doing analysis to the information relating to the national income or income data figures. So now let us have a break, and then we'll come back to solve some problems which use these concepts which we are discussed. Okay, now let us see how we can use our concepts in solving various problems. Let us consider the following question. We are given that suppose the consumption function of two-sector economy is given such that consumption is equal to 200 plus 0.8y and investment, which is I, equals to 100. Now find the equilibrium level of national income, consumption, and saving. Okay, now let us see how we can solve these problems. We are given the following data. The data which we are given that consumption 200 plus 0.8 y, then investment equals to 100. Now we are asked to find the equilibrium level of income. We know that since we are given C and I, the equation will be used is y equals to C plus I. Then now you can plug those informations in this equation, which is the consumption is 200 plus 0.8 y, so substitute here 200 plus 0.8 y, then plus I, which is 100. So our income would be y equals to 200 plus 0.8 y plus 100. Then now collect the likely terms. This one will come this side, so it will be y minus 0.8 y equals to 200 plus 100. So when you subtract here, you get 0.2y equals to 300. Now dividing by 0.2 both sides, you get 0.2y equals to 300. Then when you divide by 0.2, 0.2 both sides, y will be equal to 1,500. So the equilibrium level of national income will be 1,500. The next, you asked to calculate the consumption. Since you obtained the income, our consumption equation is C equals to 200 plus 0.8 y. Now, you need to substitute the value of income at this variable y. So when you substitute, this equation will be equal to 200 plus 0.8. So when you multiply, you get 1,200. So when you add, it will be 1,400. So the consumption is 1,400. Also, you are asked to find a saving. Now, the saving will use the following question. Saving the same as you take y minus c. Take the income minus consumption. So the income received is 1,500 minus the consumption received is 1,400. So when you subtract it, the saving level will be 100. So the saving will be equal to 100. So this is how we can solve this equation. And you can see from these informations we are obtained, you can compare between consumption and saving. You can see that the household in this society large amount of their income is used for consumption and very small amount or percentage is used for what? For saving. So you can see what make this person to consume more than saving. Now let us see another example. Now question 2, suppose C equals to 50 plus 0.75y and I is equal to 50 and change in investment equals to 10. Now derive the saving function, then calculate the multiplier and calculate the change in income. Okay, let us see how we can solve the problem number 2. We are given the following information: C, which is consumption function, is equal to 50 plus 0.75 y, then I equals to 50, then the change in I equals to 10. Now you are asked to derive the saving function. Derive the saving function. Okay. Recall the following equation. Y equals to C plus S. This is the aggregate supply function. Now, we are given already the consumption equation, which is 50 plus 0.75 y. So you substitute in this variable, so it will be 50 plus 0.75 y, then plus s. So our equation will be like this one. So you collect the likely terms y and y. So when this one comes, this side will be y minus 0.75 y equals to 50 plus s. So when you simplify this one, will be equal to 0.25 y equals to 50 plus s. Make the subject s, so s will be equal to, when this one comes, this one will be negative. So it will be negative 50 plus 0.25 y. Therefore, now our saving function is negative 50 plus 0.25 y. So this was for Roman 1. And in Roman 2, we are asked to calculate the multiplier. So we are asked to calculate the multiplier. We know from our derivation we say the multiplier, which is k, equals to 1 over 1 minus MPC, where now MPC the same as a marginal propensity to consume. So from our consumption function, we have C equals to 50 plus 0.75 y. So when you compare with the equation C equals to A plus BY, it means B will be the same as a MPC, which is 0.75. Now you can substitute in this equation to get the multiplier. Then k will be equal to 1 over 1 minus 0.75. Now 1 minus 0.75, you'll get 0.25. So when you divide 1 divided by 0.25, the answer will be 4. So the multiplier, investment multiplier is 4 times. So the investment multiplier will be 4 times. It means when the investment changes, the income will change 4 times. Okay? When investment changes or when investment increases or decreases, the income will change 4 times. Now, Roman 3, we are asked to calculate, calculate the national, the change in income. We know change in y over change in I, the same as a investment multiplier. So now we have k, and in our equation there, we are given change in investment. So change in income be over change in investment we are given is 10 equals to investment multiplier we get 4. So to find the change in income, you multiply 10 times both sides. So it will be 10 times 10. So change in income will be equal to 40. So as a investment increased by 10, when investment increased by 10, the income will increase by 40. So when investment increased by 10, the income will increase by 40. So that variables show that in order to increase the income, we need to increase what? The investment level. So when investment level increases, also the income or the national income will increase, as shown in our example. Then next, let us see another example. Let us consider the following economy. Consider an economy of country T which have the following informations. You are given C, I, and G. Now, the data we are given, question number 3, C equals to 250 plus 0.75 y, and I equals to 100 plus 0.05. Also, we are given G, which is 250. Now this economy have two sectors, a household sector, a private sector or film sectors, and a government sector. So we have three sectors. Now what we are required to do, we are asked to find the percentage income used for spending on goods and services. Okay. Now before we calculate the percentage income, let us first have the income data and the consumption data. So recall now at equilibrium, a national income will be equal to aggregate demand. Now if our economy have three sectors, now the aggregate demand will be equal to C plus I plus G, which is C the same as a 250 plus 0.75y, then plus I is 100 plus 0.05y, then plus G, which is 200 and what? And 50. Now you can add these numbers. When you add 250 plus 250 will be 500 plus 100 will be 600, and 0.75y plus 0.05y will be equal to 0.8y. So our equation will be like this one. So collect the likely terms. This one will become this side, be y minus 0.8y equals to 600. So when you subtract here, will be equal to 0.2y equals to 600. So dividing by 0.2 both sides, when you divide by 0.2 both sides, y will be equal to 3,000. So our national income will be 3,000. Now we need to have the consumption level. What we'll get, how we'll get the consumption level. Since you have the national income, so we substitute this information to the consumption level. So our consumption function be 250 plus 0.75y. So when you substitute, here will be 0.75, 3,000 be 250 plus 5.20. So when you add, will be this and this will be 0. Our answer will be like that. So you need to use your calculator to prove that if it is correct. So you take 3,000 times 0.75 then you add it with 250. So the consumption level will be this one. Now we are asked to find the percentage income used in spending on goods and services. So the percentage the same as the finding A, P, C. So it will be equal to C over Y, which is equal to 2,500 divided by 3,000. So when you divide, the answer will be equal to 0.83. So here I'll take this will be the same as 83%. So Roman 2, calculate the level of national income. So the level of national income will be equal to Y, which is 3,000 as obtained above. Then Roman 3, we are asked to calculate the change in national income when investment changed to 350. Okay. So if the investment changed to 350, we know our investment question is 100 plus 0.05 Y. So when you substitute the income data, be 0.05 times 3,000. So when you multiply, take your calculator, 0.05 times 3,000, then you add. So the investment will be 250. So if the investment increased to 350, it means you take the change in investment will be equal to 350 minus 250. So when you subtract, you get 100. So it means the income, since our investment multiplier is 4, so the income will change 4 times. It means you multiply 4 times this one if you have the investment multiplier. For this case, when you multiply by 4, so the change in income will be 4 times 100, which will be 400. So now the national income, or calculate the change in national income, the change in national income will be this one. So element 4 you'll use as a homework. So this is our presentation of today. So make sure that you revise these concepts, maybe be very important analysis of national income figures. Thank you.